CQ, 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 CQ. CQ, 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 CQ. Calling the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Calling the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. The coffee is ready. I repeat, the coffee is ready. All stations, please stand by. Welcome to the 49th edition of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. We gather here every Sunday at 7 a.m. local time on the 442.2 KE4 CCB repeater that is located in Tennessee on top of Holston Mountain using PL tone of 100 Mark 0 hertz. My name is Mac, Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta, and I'm located in the sleepy community of Friendship in Virginia. And I'll be net control and barista for this session of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. The Sunday Morning Coffee Net is not affiliated with any clubs or organizations, but to be a neutral source of information for the amateur radio community. The purpose of this net is to discuss ham radio, exchange ideas, and drink a boatload of coffee. If during the net there is an emergency, please indicate so with a break, and we will pause the net and deal with your emergency before going on. For more information about the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please visit our website and consider joining our email list. Our newsletter is sent out every Saturday around dinner time, providing access to the questions for the net ahead of time. The website is cqtn.org/coffee. That's Charlie, Quebec, Tango, November, Mark, Oscar, Romeo, Golf, /coffee, Oscar, Foxtrot, not coffee, Charlie, Oscar, Foxtrot, Foxtrot, Echo, Echo. Before I take check-ins, is there anyone with news or announcements for the net? Please call Net Control. Any stations with news or announcements for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call now. I'll take a moment to remind folks of the Thursday night coffee after brew. I will say I've not personally participated in that one. You gotta draw the line somewhere. I was looking the Thursday night coffee after brew on December 5th at 8:30 p.m. Let's see, we will be. It's our informal ride shoe on random repeaters. This week we'll be on the 442.2 100 hertz KE4 CCB repeater on Holston Mountain. So if you're into this repeater, this is the one. Won't be on a different repeater this week. All right. Moving on with the net. This is Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, and I'm taking check-ins from in and out stations. Anyone who does not wish to be called back during the net, please give your call sign slowly and phonetically, and along with your first name and your location. Please call KI4AMD.
Net Control, please copy.
Net Control, this is Kilo Mike 4, Bravo Mike Delta, Gary in Raleigh, North Carolina. Request to be in and out.
Net Control, please copy.
Hold on a second. Net Control recognizes Derek, Kilo Mike 4, Bravo Mike Delta in North Carolina. I never can hear the name of your town, Derek, but kind of sounds like Vallis to me. And I don't know how to spell that. All right, the other station, go ahead.
Net Control, please copy. November 4, Tango Uniform X-Ray, N4 T-Rex, Boyd, Kingsport, Tennessee. Good morning. In and out today.
Thank you for that, Boyd. Net Control recognizes November 4 Tango Uniform X-Ray, Boyd in Kingsport, Tennessee. In and out station, next in and out station. Go ahead.
Kilo 4, Hotel, Quebec, K4HQ, Ken and Bluntville, in and out.
Net Control recognizes Kilo 4 Hotel, Quebec, Ken in Bluntville, Tennessee. Next in and out station. Call now.
Net Control. N4NT, November 4, November Tango, Adams, Bristol, Tennessee.
Net Control recognizes November 4, November Tango. Adam in Bristol, I think you said. Adam, your audio is really low. You might have a look at your gain settings. Next in and out station, please go ahead.
Net Control, please check in and out. Kilo November 4, Mike Victor Hotel, Larry in Greenville, Tennessee.
Net Control recognizes Kilo November 4, Mike Victor Hotel, Larry in Greenville, Tennessee. Thank you for checking in, and that was a really strong audio. Thank you, Larry. Next station, please call now. This is Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta calling for in and out check-ins only for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Go now, or you'll have to answer some questions. All right, sounds like that's the end of the list of in and out check-ins. I'm not going to beg for more. I want you guys to participate. Okay, so with that, let's move on down the line here. I'm reading from a script, so if I pause and miss a transition, that's why. The Sunday Morning Coffee Net operates as a participation-based net with the following format. You'll be asked a series of 3 questions, and then we'll conclude the net with additional comments that include your 73. If at any time during the net you need to refill your coffee, please inform Net Control. Let's see. I picked the questions this week, but I had to bring up last night's email as a cheat to remember what they were. So the first question this week is going to be the most ham-related, and that is, what is on your Christmas list? I mean, obviously it's ham gear if you're a ham radio operator, right? But if you're asking for stuff that's not ham gear, weirdo, you can mention that in your answer to question number 1 also. Question number 2 can become a heated debate, and I'm a little concerned that it might divide the net and cause problems, but I'm willing to take the risk. When is the proper time to put up a Christmas tree? And question number 3 is it's a fixed question. You guys know that one already. What's for breakfast? So with that, we will begin taking regular check-ins. This is Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta. Please give your call sign slowly and phonetically. Give me your name and location if you'd like to check in for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net.
Net Control, please check in Kilo Delta 4 Whiskey Mike X-Ray KD4 WMX Ken and Quiet Lodi.
Net Control recognizes KD4 WMX Ken and Lodi. Next station, go ahead.
Net Control, please check in Kilo 9 Lima Tango Romeo K9LTR Tom in Gray.
Net Control recognizes Kilo 9 Lima Tango Romeo Tom in Gray, Tennessee. Thank you for checking in, Tom. Next station, please call. This is Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta with the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. I'm taking regular check-ins. Regular check-ins. Please call now.
Net Control, please check in November 4 Delta Tango Bravo. That's N4 DTP David of Bluff City.
Net Control recognizes November 4 Delta Tango Bravo David in Bluff City. Thank you, David. I was a little worried that it was just going to be Ken and Tom and me. Next station, please go ahead.
Whiskey 4 Mike Tango Oscar, Maynard in Bluff City.
Control recognizes W4MTO Maynard in Bluff City. Thank you for checking in today, Maynard. Next station, please call now. You guys might have noticed I have a different style here than JJ does for Net Control. By recognizing each station individually, it gives me time to write down your call sign name and city, so it's my means of stalling. Next station, now taking regular check-ins. Next station, please call KI4AMD. All right, that sounded like somebody rose the repeater for just a second. Kind of sounded like somebody fell on a microphone button. Maybe that was a station that already checked in.
Net Control.
Net Control, please copy November 9 Tango November N9TN. Name here is JJ. I'm located in Boring, Tennessee.
Net Control recognizes the net founder, JJ, November 9 Tango November in Boring, Tennessee. Thank you for the check-in there, JJ. Next station, please call. Now taking regular check-ins for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. Please call Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta. All right then. Sounds like we got our starting group. Hopefully we'll have some late check-ins later. But let's move back to the top of the list and see if we can find some answers to these questions. Kilo Delta 4 Whiskey Mike X-Ray Ken in Lodi from Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta. What do you want for Christmas this year, Ken?
Well, good morning, Mac. You're doing a fantastic job. You always do. I like you as a net control. This is KD4WMX, and what I want for Christmas is to not be pushing up daisies, wake up breathing with a pulse, and what I call potato candy. And as far as ham equipment, I got enough ham equipment. Always use something else, but I think I don't want to be pushing up daisies. That's why I told them if I get another ham equipment, it's not going to be good. But when to put up a Christmas tree? I strongly believe that you put up the Christmas tree after Thanksgiving. It can be Friday after, I don't care, but after Thanksgiving. You got to get through the other holidays before you put up a Christmas tree. That's just me. And what's for breakfast? Probably bacon and eggs and toast. Back to you, Mac. KF4AMD.
Thank you for that, Ken. As you were giving your comments there, I was kind of thinking through the song "All I Want for Christmas Is My Two Front Teeth." All I want for Christmas is to not be dead is has a much darker ring to it. That's I don't know. I'm glad you don't want to be dead. Your net control also would like to still be alive for Christmas. I'm definitely not going to say that I have a different response to that one. Of course, I've got some more frivolous things on my Christmas list, too. I'm looking for a handful of power pole connectors. My stock is getting low. And I've had an FT991A on my list for a few years. I don't think the XYL is going to be getting me that one, though. All right. Let's see. Who's next on my list? Kilo 9 Lima Tango Romeo from Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta. Tom, what's on your Christmas list? When do you put up the Christmas tree, and what's for breakfast?
KI4AMD from K9LTR. Good morning, Mac. Question 1. What's on my Christmas list? I'm kind of like Ken. I feel like I got mostly everything that I want, but I am kind of getting a little bit into APRS, and so I think I might like a maybe an FT5DR, but again, I got to get that through the finance department. I don't know how well that's going to go. Anyway, when's the proper time to put up a Christmas tree? Definitely after Thanksgiving. We usually do it on the weekend after Thanksgiving, and it stays up till New Year's, and then it comes back down again. And what's for breakfast? Probably a bowl of oatmeal and a piece of toast with some jelly on it. Back to you, Mac. K9LTR.
All right, Tom, thank you for the comments there. Yeah, the FT5DRs are a great choice. I use that one, and I use it a lot because of its APRS capabilities, so I'm somewhat pleased with that radio. It's got a bit of a wideband receiver, but it only picks up AM, so limited usefulness for amateur radio operators. In fact, a lot of wideband receivers only pick up AM in the HF spectrum, which is kind of disappointing. I have a old Kenwood handheld radio, the THF6A, that has the wideband receiver that'll do CW and sideband also, but those capabilities seem to be less common these days. Your net control station we have our tree up. We have a live tree from a local farm that we cut Saturday and had in the stand and in water within about 30 minutes. So I feel like a tree shouldn't be out of the shouldn't be disconnected from the ground before it gets in the water for very long. And I agree it should be put up after Thanksgiving, but I believe it should be put up the Friday after Thanksgiving. That said, ours didn't go up until yesterday, so we were running late this year, but we got it up. We got it. We are ready for Christmas now. All right, let's move on down the list here to David, N4DTV from KI4AMD. I won't repeat the questions. I hope you remember, or maybe you might be looking at the email. Go ahead.
This is N4DTV, and yeah, I remember the question. What I have on my Christmas list, just a good family day. That's on my Christmas list. Don't have really anything ham-related on my Christmas list. Question number 2, when should a Christmas tree be put up? I think after Thanksgiving I think that's when it should be put up, is after Thanksgiving. And I'd like to keep it up a little bit longer, maybe a little bit past January. And what's for breakfast? Probably oatmeal and toast. Back to net control.
All right, thank you for those comments, David. Some of you guys are kind of boring with those Christmas lists. I bet it's tough for your family members who want to buy stuff for you for Christmas when you already have everything you need. In fact, I know it is, because my dad already has everything he needs, and it's a pain to try to think of something to get him for Christmas. Really makes it difficult, especially if you want it to be a surprise. All right, let's move on down the list here. Maynard, W4MTO from KI4AMD. Go ahead for your answers to the 3 questions.
Good morning, everybody on the net. Mac, good morning. What I want for Christmas for ham radio equipment. I really don't need anything right at the moment. I got some future things later on down the road, but nothing at the moment. As like Ken out there in Quiet Lodi, we discussed last week, high frequency wire, but end wire for 160 meter is up to 160 is just too much wire. That's 236 feet, and I have no place to run it unless it's zigzagging across the yard. When should you put up a Christmas tree? Well, my wife put the one upstairs up, I think last week. She put that up, artificial. And she just informed me this morning that she wants another artificial tree for downstairs. She likes the real trees. Let me give Peter a break here for a second. She likes real trees, but she does not like cleaning up the mess from the pine needles and constantly watering it. So she informed me this morning she wanted an artificial. So I guess that's what we're doing today. What's for breakfast? Bacon and eggs, most likely. Back to you, Mac. W4MTO.
All right, thanks for those comments. And you know, Maynard, if you want a good half wave, you do have to have a lot of wire for the 160 meters antenna. But I'm a big fan of random length, random wire stuff. If you can get you a tuner, you can run 160 meters on a much shorter piece of wire. I mean, you know, you're not going to run it effectively on too short of a piece of wire. I think my antenna is about 150 feet long, and I feed it with an SGC 237, and it performs quite well on 160 meters. If it wasn't for all the noise, I could probably talk to a whole bunch of people on 160 meters, but I got the antenna too close to the house. All right, well, thank you for that, and let's see. Move on down the list. JJ, N9TN from KI4AMD. What are your answers to the 3 questions, JJ?
All right. Well, good morning, Mac. Good morning to everybody on the net. First of all, Mac, I'd like to thank you so much for picking it up this morning and your inaugural net control in the saddle, the Sunday morning coffee net. You're doing a great job. We appreciate it. The answers to the questions are, number 1, I don't have a Christmas list. Number 2, I don't celebrate Christmas, so I don't put up a tree. I haven't in the last few years. I'm a big bah humbug, especially the later in life I get. But if I was to have to pick a time, it would be December 13th. December 13th, and that's based on the 12 Days of Christmas song. You don't want to put it up too early, so 12 days before Christmas is a great time to put up a tree. Although, when I did put up a tree, it was the weekend before Thanksgiving. The weekend before Thanksgiving. What's for breakfast? I had a cinnamon raisin bagel with fruity cream cheese, and my wife made some pumpkin pie cookies last night, and I had 2 of those, and of course, a big, tall cup of coffee. N9TN, back to you.
All right, JJ, well, thanks for those comments and your answers to the question. I think the 12 Days of Christmas song is based on a Christmas tradition of celebrating from December 25th until the Festival of Epiphany, which is January 6th. So if you're trying to time your Christmas tree based on the 12 Days of Christmas, you might want to go to the latter end of that rather than the former. I try to cover the whole thing. We put ours up before, just after Thanksgiving, close to Thanksgiving, and keep it up at least until the New Year's, which gets us at least halfway to Epiphany, right? Okay, that's the end of my list. I need more check-ins, guys. So this is Kilo India 4, Mike Delta, looking for check-ins for the Sunday morning coffee net. This will be your last chance if you want to get in your answers to the 3 questions. Please call now.
Net Control, please check in Kilo Delta 4 November Tango, Dwayne in Bristol.
Net Control recognizes Kilo Delta 4 November Tango, Dwayne in Bristol. Next station, please call now. Net Control recognizes KE4CCB, Todd Malone by Morse code. Good thing I took that class, but your comments will have to be by voice, Todd. Next station, please call now.
Net Control, please copy Kilo Oscar 4, Echo Victor Charlie, Marcus in Johnson City, KO4 EVC.
Net Control recognizes KO4 EVC, Marcus in Johnson City. Next station, please call now.
Net Control, please check in and out Kilo Mike 4 Alpha Charlie Quebec, KM4 ACQ John in Buchanan County, Virginia.
Net Control recognizes Kilo Mike 4 Alpha Charlie Quebec, John in Buchanan County in my own state of Virginia here. Thank you for checking in, John. Next station, please call now. This is Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta, Mac, taking check-ins for the Sunday morning coffee net. Last chance for participating check-ins. Please call now. All right, let's slide back up the list to Dwayne in Bristol. Kilo Delta 4 November Tango from KI4AMD. Did you get the questions, or would you like me to repeat them?
I got the email. I got the questions right here in front of me. Thank you for taking the net there. Good morning, everybody. What ham gear or other stuff is on your Christmas list? Well, I don't do a Christmas list. When is the proper time to put up a Christmas tree? Well, we got our tree up right now, and I don't know, it doesn't seem too early to me. So we got ours up right now, so right now is a good time to put it up. What's for breakfast? Biscuits and gravy. Well, that'll be it for me. KD4NT, back to you.
All right, well, thanks for those comments there, Dwayne. I have sympathy for folks who are trying to buy Christmas presents for you if you don't have a Christmas list. It's I usually tell folks what I want to and make it a long list just to try to give people a chance to surprise me if they're planning to buy something. But at the same time, I'm not telling folks that I expect them to get something for me for Christmas, but there's some folks that expect to get something for me for Christmas, if you know what I mean. XYL probably chief among those. All right, move on down the list to Marcus in Johnson City, KO4 EVC from KI4 AMD. What's on your Christmas list? When do you put up the tree? And what's for breakfast?
Good morning, Mac, and good morning, everyone on the net. Pretty cool and good net this morning we got going on. My answer to question number one, I, like JJ, really didn't have a Christmas list, a tangible one or one I written down, but there's one in my head, I guess, and that being said, I wouldn't mind if Santa put in my stocking a 99 or a what is that? The small one, an 891 maybe. I think I'm going to try to get into some POTA. So if he put an 891 in my stocking and shoved a ATOS antenna down the chimney, I wouldn't be sad at all. Question number two, it don't matter to me. If I had a bunch of kids and they wanted it up in July, I'd put it up in July. Whatever they wanted, really. Number three, I didn't really eat anything for breakfast, but it seems like the theme of oatmeal and toast sounds pretty good, so I'm going to go with that. KO4ABC.
All right, yeah, that 891 looks like a great radio. I've played with one just a little bit, and it's a fantastic POTA rig. A lot of what I know about the 891 comes from assuming its similarities with the 857. Actually using my 857 right now. The 891 is kind of like a modernized version of the 857 with the VHF and UHF removed, which a little bit, makes it a little bit sadder of a radio than the 857. I hate that they took away some capabilities when they made the 891, but on HF, it's a fantastic rig. Let's see, moving on down the list. Looks like Buchanan County is next. John, KM4 ACQ from KI4 AMD. Go ahead with your answers to our questions.
Actually, John was in and out.
Oh, thank you, Ken. I missed that. Your net control needs to pay more attention. Well, then that brings me to the bottom of the list of check-ins again for regular participants. I might give you one more chance if you haven't checked in yet to be a regular participant before we move on to the 7-3 round. Any stations want to participate in the Sunday morning coffee net? Last chance. Give me a call. Well, I did say it was the last chance, so I guess it's time to go to the 7-3 round. Katie4 WMX from KI4 AMD. Ken, go ahead with your 7-3 and additional comments.
All right, Mac, this is Katie4 WMX, and I just want to let everybody know that this coming Thursday, the 5th of December, we're going to have a special testing session in Bristol at the hospital. Right now we have, I think, 10 testants, 7 techs, 2 generals, and an extra all testing. But we'll take more if anybody has an inkling to upgrade, or somebody wants to test for tech. Come on down to Bristol, 7 o'clock at Bristol Hospital, Thursday the 5th. And with that, hope everybody has an awesome week. And Mac, like I said, you do a fantastic job on this net. I'll say 73 to everybody, and turn it back to KI4 AMD, my neighbor.
All right, thanks for that, Ken. If somebody wanted to participate in that test session, how would they find you in that hospital? It's a pretty big building.
That's a good point. It's going to be at the same meeting room, the Magnolia room. It's down in the basement. And if they want to call me, I can probably explain a little better. My number is 276-274-8677. And, but like I say, it's in the same room as we have our meeting. So, and that's the Magnolia room at the basement of Bristol Hospital. Thank you, Mac. 73.
All right, so make sure I got that right. There's a special testing session being held at the Bristol Hospital on December the 5th. Anybody who's looking to license or upgrade a license, show up there at 7 p.m. local time in the Magnolia room that's located in the basement. And if you need more details, please call Ken at 276-274-8677. Thank you for that, Ken. Hopefully we'll get a new extra out of that. All right, slide on down the list to Tom in Gray, Tennessee, K9LTR from KI4AMD. Go ahead with your final comments.
KI4AMD from K9LTR. Thanks for doing the net this morning, Mac. You're doing a great job. Great job on the net. The other day I checked into a net, and I identified myself the way I always do, Tom from Gray. My wife was in the other room, and she thought I said Old Gray Tom. So now I will forever be known to her as Old Gray Tom. Anyway, it's a beautiful-looking morning, clear, sun's coming up. It's about 32 degrees outside, so it's pretty crisp. Might let it warm up a little bit more before we go out for our walk. I hope everybody has a great day. 73s to everybody on the net. And with that, back to net control, K9LTR.
Well, Tom, after you shared that story with us, your wife might not be the only person calling you Old Gray Tom. That sounds like a great nickname. If I remember it, I might hit you with it again sometime. Hey, your net control slept in a little bit too much this morning and didn't have time to build a fire, so it's about 30 degrees outside, and it's about 66 inside. Luckily, the house is well insulated, so it doesn't get too cold overnight, but the family probably would have appreciated it if I had gotten a fire going before they got out of bed. All right, let's slide down the list to David in Bluff City, N4DTV from KI4AMD. Go ahead with your final comments.
This is N4DTV. I thought the repeater was going to ID 7-3 to all. Hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving. Ken, enjoy the rest of the time, and I hope everyone has a wonderful week. And thanks, and thanks for calling the net there, man.
All right, thank you for that, David. Thank you for checking in, and you can tell an expert net control operator when he knows when that repeater commercial is coming. Okay, moving down the list to Maynard in Bluff City, W4MTO from KI4AMD. Go ahead with your final comments, Maynard.
Thank you, Mac. Doing a good job today. Almost better than JJ. Hint, hint. Just kidding, JJ. Just pulling a plug at you. I have no other comments. I just want for anybody who's going to be outside this week or early in the morning, you better dress up because it is going to be cold. I feel sorry for those people up in Watertown, New York. They're supposed to get up to 72 inches of snow by tomorrow morning. 72 inches. That's a lot of snow. Good old lake effects. All right, I'll send it back to you, Mac. Have a good one. Everybody have a great rest of the Thanksgiving weekend. W4MTO. Back to you, Mac.
I know a lot of folks might be feeling sorry for somebody getting 72 inches of snow, but your net control station loves snow and cold weather. I think I'd donate a redundant body part to get 72 inches. That sounds awesome. All right, moving on down the list to JJ, our net founder. Go ahead with your final comments there, JJ.
All right, Mac, everybody on the net. Just wanted number one, I don't think you mentioned this, Mac, in your opening announcements. Saturday, December the 28th, we'll be holding the first year celebration anniversary of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. 7 p.m. on this repeater, we're going to be calling it Trivia Night. And we got some prizes to give away, so be here or be square. We're going to have a good time. I got trivia questions from all walks of categories, and we're just going to have a good time celebrating together the first anniversary of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. That is 7 o'clock, December 28th. That's a Saturday, and we're going to have a good time. And we would like it if everybody can join us. All right, that's all I have, I think, maybe. Yeah, you're definitely hired, Mac. I'm sure that they would rather have you as a net controller than me. N9TN, back to you.
Well, JJ, I'm gunning for your job because you get so much better pay than me. I believe the chief net control officer has 20% more pay than the subnet control officer, so trying to get that pay raise. All right, moving on down to Dwayne in Bristol, KD4NT from KI4AMD. Go ahead with your final comments there, Dwayne.
Well, it's been a good Thanksgiving. I hope everybody else has had a good Thanksgiving. Everybody enjoy the rest of the weekend. And, as far as the testing on the 5th, you can't just show up. You have to be registered or pre-registered. So just remember that if you plan on testing. But other than that, everybody have a great weekend. KI4AMD to KD4NT.
All right, Dwayne, I'm not going to let you go on that comment. Help me out here. How do we register for that? Do you just do it by calling Ken, or is there a website or another means to accomplish that registration?
Yeah, you can get a hold of Ken, or you can get a hold of Ben Morrison, either one, and they'll register for the 5th.
All right, thanks for that detail. We'll add that on. So if you are planning to attend the special test session in Bristol on December 5th, make sure that you call Ken at 276-274-8677 or Ben Morrison if you have his contact information. Alternatively, you could contact him. All right, thanks for that update, Dwayne. Let's move on down the list to Marcus in Johnson City. KO4EVC from KI4AMD. Go ahead with your final comments.
Hey, good morning again, guys. Not much to add. Just will say that you're doing a great job, Mac, and I've enjoyed listening to the net always, and just thanks for stepping up to the bat there and hitting a home run for us. And thanks for Todd for maintaining the repeater, and everybody have a safe week. Be careful out there, and I hope to see you next week. KO4EVC 73.
All right, thanks for those comments, Marcus. You stole some of my thunder there, thanking Todd for use of the repeater. I have that in my script to do with the closing comments. But we always appreciate Todd and all he does for us. I definitely couldn't talk to you guys down in Tennessee if it wasn't for him. All right, let's slide down the list here to John in Buchanan County, in my own state. KM4ACQ from KI4AMD. Go ahead with your final comments, John.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly up here. This is KM4ACQ. We got about an inch of snow on the ground up here, but that's about all I have to say. Y'all have a good one. KM4ACQ.
All right, thank you for that, John. And yeah, I feel jealous. You got your inch of snow. We got absolutely nothing. I was looking at a forecast map, and there was a tiny hole in their image that showed it was a heat map, I guess. That's a terrible description for a snowfall forecast map, but it was a colored map that showed your probability of getting a half-inch of snow, and there was a tiny hole in the eastern part of Washington County, which I think was directly over top of my house, where there was a 0 chance of having a half-inch or more of snow today. But yeah, we got nothing in Friendship. That brings me to the end of my list. So we still got a chance for late check-ins, but late check-ins at this point, you'll only get a closing comment. Any late check-ins with closing comments for the Sunday Morning Coffee Net, please call KI4AMD.
Yeah, go ahead and get me on your list there this morning. Good morning to everybody on the net. This is Kilo Echo 4, Charlie, Bravo, Todd, in Bluff City. Good morning.
Good morning, Todd. Thank you for checking into the net for real this time. I made a little joke earlier about your Peter checking in for you. All right. Anybody else? Any other late check-ins that'd like to get in on the closing comments? Please call now.
Net Control. This is KO4GQQ, David, technically Bristol. I'm right outside the city limits. Closing comment, everyone just have a good holiday. I'm going to work on indoor stuff today because it's just too darn cold. So just check me in real quick and you guys have a good rest of your day.
Okay, thank you, David. So, Net Control recognizes KO4GQQ, David in Bristol, and by the sound of it, that was your closing comment, so you don't need to be called back. Is that correct?
I just keep forgetting the 7 a.m. start time, and I looked over at the clock and I said, oh, shoot, let me see if they're still going real quick. So maybe next week. Yep, hopefully. Have a good one. Back to Net Control, KO4GQQ.
All right, David, we look forward to hearing your answers to the questions next week, to next week's questions. All right, anybody else want to get in for late check-in? Please call KI4AMD.
A quick question for Net Control.
Net Control recognizes KO4GQQ from KI4AMD. Go ahead with your question there, David.
Thank you for that. KI4AMD, KO4GQQ. The 10-meter net, they're still doing that? Apparently I keep missing that one as well. And apparently that's after the... when is the weekly net? I was on the website the other day. And are they still doing the 10-meter thing?
That's a very good question. Your Net Control is interested in that. I'm not aware of a 10-meter net. So anybody on the net, recheck with information about the 10-meter net. David and I would both like to hear about it.
This is N4DTP. I bet you he's talking about the after the Bristol Club net. They started a 10-meter net at 9:30. I don't know if that's every week or not, but I believe that's the net he's talking about. N4DTP.
Okay, David. Do you know any details about that net, the frequency or mode that they're operating?
I do not. I don't know. I don't know if it's that I do not know.
Net Control, KO4GQQ, I got that.
All right, N4NT from KI4AMD. Did you have some more details for us?
Yes. Bristol Club net. 493.
Can relay.
Todd, did you pick him up on the reverse? Are you able to relay what he said?
Net Control, I'm sorry, God, my voice, KO4GQQ. I heard him a little bit, but actually I know the frequency. It's 28.474. That's 28.474 at 9:30. I was just verifying the information I had was still correct, and I couldn't quite hear Adam well enough to see if he was actually saying they're doing it every week. I assume it's after the regular Bristol weekly net, still at 9:30 p.m. approximately. 28.474, KO4GQQ, back to net.
Okay, thanks, David. I don't know why I thought that was Todd that piped in with the relay. So it's 28.474 is the frequency, and is that FM or sideband?
I believe they've messed around with modes. Primary mode is sideband. I think they've attempted other modes, but they're primarily they're sideband as far as I know.
Okay, thanks for that. That'd be enough to get somebody into it anyway. 9:30 p.m. 28.474 megahertz. What day of the week would that be on?
I'm looking at the website now. I think it's Tuesday. Give me a second.
Hopefully you can copy me now.
Just buried N4NT. He's back.
N4NT from KI4AMD. Can you give me that information about the net again?
Yeah, sure can. Sorry, I had my power scaled back a little bit too, and different antenna. Tuesday nights at 9:30. He usually does have it weekly. He's canceled occasionally for a holiday or something like that. But and of course, this coming Tuesday is our Christmas dinner for the Bristol Amateur Radio Club. So we may not be on either net, just depending on how long that runs. But normally, yes, weekly 28.474 megahertz sideband at this time with N4NT.
All right, that sounds interesting. I will say that I've got a terrible setup for 10 meters, but I might try it anyway. Got a whole bunch of wire in the backyard, and I think it's a little too long for 10 meters, to be honest. But I'll keep you guys in mind and see if I can get into that. All right, let's see. I'm all lost on my net control stuff here. Let's go up the list here to Todd, K4CCB from KI4AMD. Did you have any closing comments for the net, Todd?
I just hope everybody had a good Thanksgiving and some good time off and enjoyed the meals and family time, and hopefully everybody will go through the rest of the year. And it's hard to believe it's just a month left, but hopefully everybody will get through the rest of the year and through Christmas and into the new year and without any problems and aggravations. But hopefully everybody will get their families together and enjoy them throughout the Christmas holidays. Hope you all have a good day. K4CCB.
All right, Todd, thank you for the comments, and thank you for maintaining this repeater for us. That brings me to the end of my list, I think. Anybody want to, any stations need to check in, any late check-ins for the Sunday morning coffee net or rechecks, please call KI4AMD. Last call for late check-ins for the Sunday morning coffee net, please call Kilo India 4 Alpha Mike Delta. All right then, time for net control to go have a couple of toaster pastries and a tall cold glass of milk for breakfast. That does it for the 49th edition of the Sunday Morning Coffee Net. I'd like to thank everyone who participated in the net this morning, and please remember to join us next Sunday at 7 o'clock a.m. In the meantime, refill that cup of joe and enjoy the rest of your day. The net today was held on the 442.2 repeater. That's located atop Holston Mountain. We'd like to thank Todd Malone, KE4CCB, for the use of the repeater this morning. And I'll now return this repeater back to normal amateur radio use. 7-3, y'all, and we'll see you next week. And this is KI4AMD.